behind me. They raised the streets up behind you. 4 years past, they bridged the gap with new sidewalks. Every 5 feet or so, one of these, a skylight to light the way. Should we see if humanity has given up on us? On the count of 3, we'll yell for help. 1, 2, 3.
Guys.
I kept going. All right, here's the deal. When we leave here, we're going to walk over the same skylight. If we hear anyone yelling for help below us, we're going to ignore them. It's called karma. You notice it was very purple on the top pane. It's hard to tell from below, but when we're above, look below your feet, you'll see purple glass. Ironically, when they were making these things in the late 1800s, they knew after enough time went by, glass always turned a brown kind of sepia tone like we see on the bottom pane. To prevent that from happening, they added manganese to the glass. And if you look at the top pane, they're right. No brown whatsoever. But given enough time, about 50 years plus, and enough sunshine, even in Seattle, right, it'll turn the glass purple. So that's a mistake. The glass is supposed to be colorless. Opaque still, so you can't see ladies' dresses, but no color to it. So it's a nice mistake. We'll check it out when we go above ground. Behind me, this is the old Scandinavian American Bank. During the Klondike Gold Rush, it becomes the main hub, where you bring your gold to get cash in return. The influx of gold in this town makes it very wealthy. The city goes from backwoods logging camp to booming metropolis because of it. But you're also going to attract a lot of unsavory characters that want to make gold the easy way. So they would just mug somebody coming to or from this bank a lot of times. I'll tell you why the gold came here in the first place, and then we'll go on to the next little vault section here. It's 1897. The SS Portland is sailing down from the Klondike region. They wire ahead to let Seattle know, we're going to be in port in a couple days. I want to give you a heads up. We have about a ton of gold on board, give or take. Nobody knows what a ton of gold looks like. They run down there when it finally gets into the harbor. They weigh the gold, and they found out that they lied. There wasn't a ton of gold. There was over 2 tons aboard the SS Portland. Immediately, the mayor of Seattle resigns. The police chief resigns. They all have gold fever. They think they're going to go up north to strike it rich. Nobody knows what mining entails necessarily, but they heard that you can get rich quick. You guys know John Nordstrom? Nordstrom Shoes? He initially goes out to the Klondike. Johnny gets a claim, and he realizes quick, wait a minute, most of the good claims are already taken. Most of the gold's been tapped out. It makes a lot more sense if I go back to Seattle and I mine the miners instead. I'm going to sell these guys the shoes that they need for the Klondike. And that's where he makes his fortune. So if you're smart, you stay put right here, you sell whatever you can get your hands on to these would-be miners that are coming through town. Some of the packages that they sold to miners included gold-smelling gophers. What? They gave them gophers. They said, release the gopher into the wild. It'll stop over the gold. Dig accordingly, and you'll be rich. And they bought them by the truckloads. Here's another trick they would do quite a bit. They said, sir, you need a sled dog team for the Arctic. And he'd say, what's a sled dog team? He said, just a second, be right back. They go to the alleyway, round up a bunch of stray dogs, sell them at crazy prices to these guys. Here's the best part. As they're pulling away from Elliott Bay on their ship with their new sled dog team, from the shore, the owner would blow a dog whistle. They would jump overboard, swim back to the owner, and then be resold again to somebody else. 2 reasons make Seattle the main hub to get all your supplies before you head north to the Klondike. Number 1, a big PR campaign. A guy named Erastus Brainerd. He lied to everyone across the country. Across the world, actually. He told everyone this is the very last stop before you get to the Klondike. He called it the gateway to the Klondike. He forgot to tell everyone about Canada. And all the miles in between. So everybody stopped here thinking, this is it. This is their last shot. Number 2, most importantly, Canadian Mounties were sick and tired of pulling these dead miners off of their mountains. So the miners are dying, their horses are dying, they're running out of food. They're ill-prepared. That's when Canada passed the 1-ton law, which said anybody coming over our border to mine has to bring with them at least 1 ton of supplies or we're not going to let you in. So if you think Seattle's the last stop in route, and you need at least 1 ton of supplies, that means cha-ching for this city. The year before the ship rolls in, 1896, all the revenue combined, it's about $300,000. Only 8 months after the SS Portland arrives, it goes to $25 million. $25 million, that's 1897 prices. It stays that way for the next decade. The next 10 years are like that. That's when Tacoma starts to pay attention to us. That's when we got our revenge finally. Right? Now, like I said earlier, the influx of gold makes the city very wealthy, but you're going to attract a lot of unsavory characters. And this, being a bank in the underground next to a shady road here, which I'll tell you about in a second, makes it a bad part of town. They had a little guy, let's see, there's a teller's cage on the left. This guy was working, a young man, 1896, working the teller's cage one night. He was held up at gunpoint by two masked gunmen. He said, "I'm not going to give you the gold." He held his ground. They shot him anyway, in the stomach. He died a couple days later of his wounds. They think his ghost haunts this next section, the old vault. Now we're talking. About 7 years ago, the show Ghost Hunters came. They filmed for a week in the underground space. They said this next section, the old vault, gave them some problems. Things got colder, much colder. Things moved around, things malfunctioned. I'm a little skeptical myself. I haven't seen a single ghost, and I've been here since 1892.